Hi, this is Jared and Zero here with Second Chance Canine, here to talk to you today about service dogs. Now, yesterday we tried to go to the American Legion and uh, have a nice quiet time in there. There was a guy in there with an untrained dog. This dog was off leash. It was one of these little 10-pound yappers. Ran right up to Zero and tried to initiate a fight. I held Zero up out of the way and did not give him the command to attack because he is a protection dog as well. And if I had, this dog would have been gone in a matter of seconds. The guy did not apologize. He just went up and grabbed his dog and carried it back to the seat. Was still talking on his cell phone. Uh, if it had been the old me, I'd love just to wipe the floor with this guy. I mean, it really pissed me off. It set all my triggers going, and I couldn't even really calm down and relax in there. So we ended up leaving. And this is really becoming a problem. People taking their pets or these fake service dogs out into public and really messing with those of us that need a service dog to be able to function in normal society, and just to be able for us to get up out of the door some days. These people, they did go online, they buy the vest, or this dog didn't really have anything. He just really took his pet out into public with nothing, no recall, no obedience, no anything. And the guy was, you know, out of shape himself and undisciplined. So, uh, like I say, this is becoming a problem, and Texas has finally stepped up and put a law that is going into service this month. And as of September 1st, Texas law passed fake service dog owners can be charged with a misdemeanor, face $1,000 fine, and 30 hours of community service. I'd love to see some of this enforced because there's a lot of them, especially every time we go to Walmart. You see their little dogs inside the cart, and they're yipping and yapping the whole time. Why these Walmart employees don't go and ask those people to leave, I'll never understand, because it says so even on the door. Unless the animal is a service animal, it's not supposed to be in there. These animals have, they can't even walk good on the leash. Some of them, I seen another pit bull in there the other day, on leash, was pulling, trying to get to Zero while we were waiting in line to pay, whining and crying and all of these things. The people behind us that had the dog, of course, again, were very rude, unapologetic, um, and it's really becoming an issue for us. We've been turned away from restaurants and things like that because people have taken their pets in there, and the pets were growling and barking at customers, eliminating while they were, there eating food off the table. And if you see a dog doing some of these behaviors, I would ask the owners of the animal, to leave, um, because that's not a service dog. A service dog doesn't do any of these things. And this is how you can generally spot a fake. Um, and a service animal is seen and not heard. And other than, like I said, the visual, you shouldn't even be able to tell that he's there. Um, so what are we looking for when we look at a service dog? A lot of people have been asking me, what's the differences, this and that. So these are some of the key differences between a regular dog and your service dog, and what it takes for this animal to be a service dog. It takes a special dog to become a service dog. Candidates are chosen for their stable temperament and their ability and willingness to work for a person. They receive more specialized and advanced training than the average pet. Service dog training consists of three main parts: obedience training, public access training, and specific task training. Obedience training, the foundation of the service dog's training, consists of commands such as heel, sit, down, stay, and come when called, or your recall. These skills are continually developed and perfected. Obedience introduces the dog to the fun of learning process and teaches them that you, the handler, are in charge. Reliable obedience skills also prepare the dog for a smooth public access training. Then your next is going to be your public access training, which involves appropriate skills and socialization to function in public places, including places where other animals are forbidden. A service dog experiences a variety of day to day situations, and they must be prepared to handle each one. Okay. Next, maybe some traits that you're looking for, because not every dog can be a service dog. These are like the Michael Jordans of all these dogs, and it's not a certain breed that can be a service dog. He just has to perform these tasks, and if he can't, then they're not qualified or they wash out. Which is why if you go the route of getting one of these guys, they're over $30,000 because they've been raised from a pup up until the time that they're past generally 2 years old, and they know for a fact that they can perform all these things for you. If you're going to go get one yourself, this is the traits that you're going to be looking for. The desired traits are tolerant, stable, handler oriented, easy to motivate, physically sound of structure. For your capabilities, retrieve objects, pull doors open, brace, psychiatric support, scent detection. Traits to avoid: nervous, fearful, suspicious of strangers, intolerant of other animals, noise sensitive, and the very, very last, of course, is appearance. And a lot of people focus on that first. I want a cool dog, this and that. And then, of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, you have the pit bull. Yes, but I got him to train and put up for adoption because this guy here was at the Midland Kill Shelter on the euthanasia table. They were going to kill him the day I picked him up. But his willingness to work and do the job and his tolerance of other people and animals and everything was through the roof. And so this is why I kept him and trained him as my service animal. If he did not have those traits, I don't care what he looked like or what breed it was, I would have given him to a loving family and not had him for service work, but he excelled. So I didn't just go out and say, I'm going to go get a pit bull and try to make it a service animal. It's just one of those lucky things that happened. Next, you want to take a look at your dog's strengths and weaknesses. The one word that best describes the ideal temperament for a service dog is bomb-proof. You want this dog to be bomb-proof, not afraid, not timid or scared. I see a lot of people on podcasts talking to Tom Davis, talking about, I have a service dog, but it's growling and barking and doing all these things when we're out in public. And guess what? You don't have a service dog. That dog needs more training, or that dog is not up for the task and needs to be washed out, and you need to go try to get you a different service dog. Not all dogs can be service dogs. So they need to get that through their head. Again, the ADA also requires that service dogs remain under control in public at all times. And various industry organizations, including the International Association of Canine Professionals and the International Association of Assistance Dog Partners, have provided guidance on standards of behavior that demonstrate this. The standards include that your service dog is reliably housebroken, has no history of aggression, growling, lunging, biting to dogs or people, is not fearful or anxious in public, has advanced obedience training around distractions, including cues for heel, sit, stand, down, stay, come, including with leash dropped, tuck under table or chair and lie down, out of the way, leave it, focus, look under at handlers on cue, and place, lie, and stay on a mat. Can load up into and out of a car safely on command, ignores other people, smells food and animals, is safe when approached by a child, does not jump, lick, or approach other people or dogs, does not eat off the floor, keeps all fours on the floor, meaning stays on the floor at all times unless performing tasks for the handler that require otherwise. In public, service dogs should not be up on chairs, riding in shopping carts, or being fed from tables. Although it's not legally required, a service dog should be kept clean and well groomed, and it's best to get young pups in the routine of grooming, including nail clipping and body handling early. Many service dogs wear special gear such as a vest or a cape. Although it is not legally required, it often makes public access easier and alerts people to not interfere with your dog. But I also train on this very heavily because people are stupid. Even if he has his vest on and all these things, and I'm wearing a shirt saying I'm a handler, people still come up. People don't have control of their kids. They'll come up and they'll grab the dog unsuspectingly. And if your dog is to turn around and bite or something like that, then you and the dog are going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, so this is why I tried to make this dog as bomb proof as possible and why he goes through the training that he goes through every single day so that when these things happen, and they do happen all the time, at least twice a week, when I'm taking him out, we'll get a kid that'll go up, and again, the parents are very rude, they're unapologetic. It's like, and for those parents out there that see us and they're like, hey, don't do that, that's a service dog, or ask or something like that, I applaud you, I appreciate you, thank you very much. But just like with an untrained dog, you can tell the kids that have parents that don't spend too much time teaching them things, the correct way to meet and greet and all of that. um, this is some things about the service dog that that they can ask. Okay, so this is: businesses cannot ask you for proof of certification. A business cannot ask you to leave. A business can ask you to leave if your dog demonstrates a lack of obedience skills, and this is one that I really wish more businesses would take action on, especially Walmart. Um, and then there's no one official U.S. service dog certification. You can go online and spend you $100 or whatever and get a piece of paper. It means nothing. Um, and that's what some of these rests, because even him, he has a legit certification and a card and everything. And we were asked to leave from Denny's the other day because somebody else had been in there previously with their pet and it eliminated on the floor. It was barking and growling at guests, and they were like, well, this person had a certificate too or whatever, so we don't care, we leave the restaurant. So instead of going into a big thing, we just left. But um there's no, like I said, there's no regulation, but you should be able to tell if a dog is a true service dog or not by the way they are with their handler and the way they perform in public. And if the dog's not doing anything, then they have no right to do that. I could have stayed there and fought with the lady, but it was already, getting my anxiety and everything else through the roof. So I just left. And then there again, be careful. There are a lot of scam certifications out there. And like I said, before you can even go and buy the vest or get the certification, these people are doing that when their dog doesn't even have basic obedience training. That just to go get it so they can take their dog or whatever, and it makes the community look bad, and it makes people who actually need these animals suffer. So please quit doing that. And then it might be a good idea for you to keep a training file. Zero has a training file. Every time I take him out in public, he gets scored accordingly. And then things that he needs to get sharpened up on, he gets sharpened up on. But it's a daily thing. And before I take him out into any public venture, he's exercised. And he gets to go, use the bathroom and things. And this is also why I only feed him once a day in the evening after we come back from all of the day's activities, so that, he doesn't really have to eliminate while we're out in public. He might have to, go pee a couple of times, but that's why other people aren't supposed to show affection or give them treats or anything else while they're throughout the day, because they're working. So I hope that this helped some of you that have been asking me questions of what a service dog actually is, what it does, and for all you fake service dog people out there, screw you. You're making it very difficult for those of us that actually have these dogs and need these dogs, just to go out into public spaces. So quit doing that. And I really hope that this law is enforced, and more restaurants and stuff are reporting or kicking people out that are bringing their pets in there and their pets are acting crazy. Walmart's pretty horrible, just with customer service, so I doubt that they'll step up and do anything. But just be aware that if you're taking your dog to these places, that you might run into some of these issues, and be prepared for that. This is Jared and Zero with Second Chance K9. Thank you.